About 5 years ago, we went on our first mission trip to Puerto Penasco with Community of Hope Church. Jim Jordan was running the trip, and we were going down to see the Stanleys in Puerto Penasco. And we didn't have a lot of expectation, honestly. We expected to work hard. We're not afraid of working hard, but we didn't really know what we were going to be up against. When we got there, a lot of it seemed kind of typical in the sense that the jobs were what we thought, building and putting things together and organizing things and donations. But there came a point where something happened, and it was pretty awful. It was pretty awful. It was the first time I realized how God often speaks to me. And what I saw was, I spoke to a woman who couldn't keep her own children. She couldn't afford them. So she was paying money to a place that was keeping her children because she had to work 7 days a week. 7 days a week, without fail, every single day of the year, and considered herself blessed that she could work all 7 of those days so she could have enough money. And while we were listening to her in this incredibly poor neighborhood that we were in, a dog was laying down on the ground, and he was breathing heavy. He was severely emaciated. He was just filled with ticks and bugs, and he was breathing really heavy. He was dying. He was dying, and it was just awful to watch. And I started to feel very overwhelmed. I actually started to not feel like I wanted to help anybody. I felt like I wanted to run away, and I was so upset. I really can't describe just how deeply upset I was by this. And the icing on the cake of my distress came when someone pointed out a train that was going by with people on top of it. And it was described to me that they were disenfranchised and that they were going to, they had nowhere to go. They were just literally wandering. And I realized in that moment, I don't know if I'd ever felt so sick or sad in all my life. And I realized I just needed to get out of there. I wanted to get out of there. I didn't want to listen to anyone anymore. I didn't want to help anyone. I wanted to just leave. I was absolutely sick with sadness and defeat watching this. And I left Mexico then. And over that week, I started to piece together what God was trying to tell me. He had to hurt me in order to open my eyes. And the only way that he could do that was by showing me firsthand what it was that I needed to do. And that was really hard for me. I did feel more peace when I realized that God was telling me I needed to go to Mexico. I didn't know I needed to move there yet, but I knew that God was saying I needed to be more involved. And I felt more at peace. I was surprised by how hard it was. I could cry right now, just even saying it. It has been so hard to listen to God. And he does often show me these things with pain. The way that he talks is a mercy. And the pain is a mercy. Honestly, the suffering that we've all, and I hate to even say suffering, because obviously the real suffering is the people that we're serving, but it's been really hard to serve them as well. It's been a challenge for all of us to do what we're doing. But listening to God absolutely is changing everything about me, my faith, how I believe, what I'm capable of saying, what I'm capable of doing, how I'm capable of making a change. Everything has changed now because I'm listening to God. And I know now when I'm in pain that it's God talking to me. And I don't know, I guess there's a part of me that wishes that he could just, I don't know, put some perfume on, let me smell it, and be like, oh, God's trying to talk to me. That's not how it works for me. God has to hurt me. It has to hurt. And then I open my eyes, and then the gratitude comes. And then the strength to do what I need to do comes. And that's how God talks to me.